Now what I wanted to do is to, while we're in the fruit section, is to actually show you an example of fruit that didn't retain its seal and has not really gone bad, but it's, it's starting to go. So this was done with the glass seal, the glass lid and the rubber seal, and it didn't vacuum seal. And I didn't notice when I was putting it away. And then when I came into the cold storage, I looked at my peaches and I thought, one has a very different color than the other one, right? You can see that there's a big difference. So of course, this is the one that was not sealed. This is the one that has a perfect seal. This one's gonna last for years. This one is not. Now, because it still retained a connection to the top of the lid, or to the top of the jar, the lid and the jar stayed closed, there's no bugs in here. And there's actually no mold and no yeast. And when you smell it, it smells perfectly fine. So the only thing that has gone off is that there was a bit of oxygen that got in there and it started to change the color of the fruit. Now this food, actually, you could eat this. It's not gonna hurt you because all of those indicators of decay are not there. The only thing that's off is the color. But again, you don't have to eat it, but you still could. There's nothing wrong with it. But again, you want to make sure that everything is sealed well, and keeping an eye for those things that are, potentially going to be going bad. So that's about it for the canning. One tip that I just want to remind everyone that's really important is you don't want to be storing jars on top of each other. Okay, so when you're storing them, you don't want to be putting them directly onto the top of the jar and storing them for extended periods of time. The pressure of a jar on top of the lid can affect the seal. And so if you're going to store multiple layers, it's just kind of really recommended, but you can be putting like cardboard between the layers, and that helps to distribute the weight. But it's just better to not be stacking them on top of each other. The last things that I like to store in my cold storage are just those dry foods. So I've got my beans and all of my spices and lentils and all those things, and I usually keep them all in jars with tight fitting lids so that there are no bugs. And I'm going to be showing you how to do a dry goods canning method that really helps to preserve your dry goods. I think that's about it in here. The last thing that I like to store in my cold storage are all my seeds for the years to come. And I love in the springtime, it's my favorite time. Well, more like in the winter time, pull out your bin of seeds and look at what you have and what you need to order. So that's my cold storage. I love this space. I really want to encourage you to take the time and the effort to create a space like this in your home, because you can store so much food, and it's easy to store food that you put in this space. You're going to be putting your potatoes and your onions and your squashes. Oh, I almost forgot the squashes. So just rewind here. I actually store my squashes on these shelves. I put all my canning here just for, ease of the shoot. But normally I have squashes on here. And with squashes, you want to make sure that they're cured well and that they are stored just in one layer on a shelf that's well vented, so there's lots of air circulation around them, and making sure that they're not touching. So if one goes bad, it's not going to wreck the other ones. And then also keep in mind that some squashes last longer than others. So you've got, say, your buttercup squash, and it has a bit of a softer spot on one kind of side of it, and it does go bad more quickly than, say, an acorn squash. So your buttercups and your, butternut squashes, you want to eat those sooner than, say, the acorn and the spaghetti squashes, because the acorn and spaghetti squash have really thick skins and they can last for quite a while. So usually this is completely full of squash, but we have eaten through a lot of the squash, and a lot of mine actually went bad this year because I didn't cure them properly. So I'll be getting into more detail about that. All right, folks, I think we have conquered the cold storage. And again, it's just a really great place to store a lot of food.